from Toronto. I'm standing outside here at BMO Field where we're just hours away to kick off the inaugural Canadian Shield tournament. As you can see behind me, the vendors are getting ready for today's festivities, and I'm about to head off to the pre-match with the rest of the Voyagers. But while I do that, here's a little bit of info about the Canadian Shield and who's participating this weekend. The Canadian Shield will be held here at BMO Field in Toronto, Canada on June 7th and June 10th, 2025. This inaugural event will comprise of the following 4 teams: Canada as the host nation, Ukraine, Ivory Coast, and New Zealand. Unlike other round-robin style tournaments, this one will be slightly different as each team only plays 2 matches each. Thus, the following points tabulation will be applied as follows. The winning team, after 90 minutes regulation, will be awarded 3 points. In the event of a draw, teams will automatically go to a penalty shootout where the winning team gets 2 points and the losing team receives 1. Kicking off this tournament will be the host nation Canada taking on top contender Ukraine. While Canada has been making remarkable strides since the 2022 FIFA World Cup to improve both its depth of talent and level of competition, Ukraine will be no slouch as the highest ranked team in the tournament, sitting at the 25th spot on FIFA's worldwide rankings list. I expect this to be a highly competitive but tough match for Canada.
first half.
It was awesome, 3-0. I can't believe we're winning.
I know. Did you know that they're ranked 25th in FIFA? Cheese!
That guy was really cheesy.
Marsh took this game seriously. He brought in a few new players. Promise David is a big lad, and he looked good out there. Jonathan David with a sublime header goal. Tajon Buchanan with crosses that I haven't seen since Junior Hoylett would deliver those. And then Tajon gets his as well to make it 4. But the Ukrainians wanted something from the game, and so they got it. They got 2 goals at the end. Max Crepeau made a number of saves to keep the game within that 2-goal range, but a fully deserved victory for the Canadians. 4-2, and in good position to win the first ever Canadian Shield.
Now it was time to sit back and relax as we took in match number 2, Ivory Coast versus New Zealand. On paper, this was the biggest mismatch of the day, with Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire as it's formerly known, currently ranked 41st in the world, versus New Zealand, which sits much lower at the 86th spot on FIFA's rankings list. So I wasn't surprised when a lot of fans chose to go home rather than wait around for what was expected to be a lopsided victory in favor of the lads from West Africa. Truth be told, I was looking forward to this match ever since it was announced that New Zealand would be participating in this tournament, partly because they had just qualified for their 3rd ever World Cup a couple months earlier, and I'm not sure that I will get to see them play next year, but mainly because they were the obvious underdogs of this tournament, and I wanted to see how they would hold up with this competition. If there's anything that I've learned in life, then it's never to underestimate the underdog, because you never know what to expect out of them, having the least amount to lose out of everybody.
Who do you think is going to win this match? New Zealand or Ivory Coast?
Côte d'Ivoire is going to win.
But New Zealand just qualified for its 3rd ever World Cup.
Well done for them.
Yeah.
That's coming out of Oceania is not the same as winning Africa.
So Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast. What?
2-1.
2-1. 2-1.
Shortly after Doug made his match prediction, New Zealand surprisingly took the lead in the 41st minute by an Elijah Just strike. Unfortunately, it did not capture the shocking moment, as it happened quickly before I could turn my camera on. But let's just say the silence was deafening amongst Les Elephants faithful in the stands. The second half of the match ended up being very much like the first, with very few scoring opportunities by either side. All this despite Ivory Coast having ball possession for about 70% of the time. With the final whistle blown, New Zealand pulled off the biggest upset of the tournament with a 1-0 win. And at the end of day 1, the standings stood as follows. Canada in first with 3 points and a goal differential of +2. New Zealand sitting close behind in second place with 3 points but a goal differential of +1. In third, we have Ivory Coast with 0 points and a goal differential of -1. And to my surprise, Ukraine in last with a total of 0 points and a lot of ground to make up with a goal differential of -2. What this means is that heading into the second day of competition, Canada would simply need to win or tie the Ivory Coast and go through a penalty shootout in order to win the Canadian Shield. This is what happened next. And after that final whistle, Ukraine holds on to a 2-1 victory over New Zealand. While it was enjoyable watching the Ukrainian supporters literally shake the stadium for most of the match, I must give props up to the Kiwi faithful that did show up, albeit in much significantly smaller numbers. Watching New Zealand hold its own at the 2025 Canadian Shield gives me some hope that they can surprise a few teams at next year's World Cup. With that said, Ukraine's win over New Zealand means that Canada has all but assured itself the Canadian Shield title, provided it does not lose by more than 2 goals to Ivory Coast. Now let's check out some of the highlights from this final match.
The final score is 0-0, with Côte d'Ivoire winning 5-4 on penalty kicks. But with 4 points atop the table, Canada has won the inaugural Canadian Shield. BMO Field, what a tournament, so much passion and talent over the last few days. One of the reasons the Canadian Shield was created was to showcase the talent of soccer presently and in the future, not just in this country, but around the world. And take a look around you. In just over a year's time, the World Cup will be here in BMO Field, and Canada will start its World Cup journey here. I want to thank, on behalf of everyone in the Canadian Shield, the players, the coaches, the officials, the volunteers, for doing such an amazing job for this inaugural Canadian Shield. And now, I'd like to invite Canadian soccer legend Dwayne Rosario to present the Canadian Shield Trophy to the Canadian Men's National Soccer Team. Your Canadian Shield champion